My beloved child, today I do not come to you with rebuke, but with a heart broken by compassion. I have seen every glance you've lifted to heaven, every clenched hand hidden in silence, every tear that soaked your pillow when no one was watching. I have been quietly there with you in every moment of your pain, especially the wounds inflicted by those you loved and trusted most. You have lived with kindness like a lamp shining in the night. But instead of being cherished, that light has been met with attempts to snuff it out. You chose patience when you had every right to be angry. You held on to gentleness while others chose to wound. You continued to give goodness, even when you knew you might receive nothing in return. And, my child, I have seen it all, but today, I speak to you not only with love, but with a deep sorrow in my heart. I am not grieved because you did something wrong, but because the world around you has so often chosen wrongly against you. They did not recognize the precious jewel I placed within your soul. They tried to cover your life with darkness words that made you question your worth, actions that taught you love is weakness, and attitudes that made you feel your kindness is meaningless in a cold world. But that, my dear one, is not true. I cannot remain silent while your peace is torn apart by careless words, icy behavior, and manipulations disguised as familiarity. I cannot stand by as the care I've poured into you is bruised by the indifference of others. I know there are times you've asked, Father, why do those I trust hurt me the most? I hear the sighs of your heart in the night as you wrestle with why your goodness is misunderstood, why your efforts go unseen, why others keep taking without ever giving back. I know how weary it makes you, how it tempts you to pull away, to build walls between yourself and the world. But, my child, do not let the darkness of others dim the light I placed inside you. You were not born to be a victim of cruelty. You were born to shine in the midst of darkness, not because you don't feel pain, but because you choose not to let it harden you. You were created to be set apart, not to please everyone, but to live in the fullness of the heart I breathed into you, a heart that is tender, a spirit that is strong, and a soul full of love. Beloved child, your pain does not make you weak, it makes you real. Every time you forgive without an apology, every time you choose silence over reaction, you are testifying to a higher standard than this world understands. That standard is the kingdom of heaven. And though you may not see it, in the very moments you are misunderstood, when your love is not returned, when your kindness is taken for granted, those are the moments I am using you to reflect something far greater than yourself. Grace. You were not created to live for the approval of others. You were created to bring joy to me. And sometimes, that means walking through seasons where your righteousness is mocked, your kindness is misused, and your patience is mistaken for foolishness. But my child, do not change because of them. Do not let your pain turn you into a skeptic. Do not let your goodness be choked out by the hardness this world calls wisdom. True wisdom comes from Mitha, one who knows whose hearts are pure, and who merely performs. Remember this, my dear one, every act of kindness you offer, every word of love you speak, every step you take in faith, it is never in vain. I have seen it, and I will not forget. There will come a day when even those who dismissed you will witness the glory I reveal through your life. Not so you may boast, but so they may know that you belong to one greater than all, one who sees what is hidden, who judges righteously, and who never lets you walk through the valley alone. I am working, even if you don't yet see it. I am protecting you, even if others don't realize it. And I am preparing a new season for you, a place where you no longer have to prove yourself to anyone, but can simply live in the peace of knowing I am with you, and no one can take that away. So, my beloved, do not lose the tender heart I gave you. Do not let the pain make you close your spirit. Keep loving, but love with wisdom. Keep believing, but place your trust in me first. And keep living not for the approval of others, but because my eyes are always watching over you. I love you not because you are always strong, but because you have chosen to remain faithful, kind, and honest, even when no one else did. You are my delight. And no matter how the world treats you, rest assured because you are never invisible to me. You are loved, you are known, and you are held by my very hands. Every single day. My precious child, it has been far too long that I have watched you walk your path with a heart burdened by worry, eyes filled with hesitation, and steps weighed down by doubt. You've carried yourself as though you were just a nameless traveler in this vast world, as if you were unworthy of receiving the goodness I, your very Father, have long prepared for you since before time began. Each day, you measure yourself through the lens of others, allowing their words, glances, or silence to slowly erode the confidence I placed within your soul. You no longer see yourself through my eyes, gentle and full of love, the eyes of a father who wonderfully crafted you, but through the fragile and ever-shifting standards of this world, you compare. You criticize yourself. You retreat when you feel you are not enough, not good enough, not beautiful enough, not strong enough. And what breaks my heart most is not your weakness, but that you've forgotten you were born with a value that can never be erased. I created you in my imaginat, so you would live like a beggar outside the door of grace, but so you would walk in the strength of one who has been chosen. But instead of believing that truth, you've settled into the identity of an outcast seeking validation from those who cannot truly see your worth. I gave you steadfastness, but you let their criticism steal your courage. I placed a holy calling within you, but you let the noise of the world drown out your belief in yourself. You believe the lies more than the gentle voice I whispered to your heart, that you are precious, that you have purpose, and that you are never forgotten. My child, do not let the past deceive you into thinking your future has already been written off. Do not let your stumbles be the proof you are not enough. Do not let the rejection of others make you question the fact that I have chosen you. For I do not look at what the world uses to measure worth, I look at your heart. The heart that still beats with hope, even when you felt like you've lost everything. I placed within you a light, something entirely unique that no one can copy or replace. That is my mark on you, and it remains. Even when you forget, you do not have to fight to be loved for. My love for you does not come from your achievements, but from our relationship as father and child. You do not need to be perfect to be accepted, for I love you, even in the flaws and cracks you try to hide. Beloved child, the insecurity you carry does not come from me. Comparison, fear, and doubt are not gifts I give. These are chains the enemy has craftily wrapped around your mind, blinding you from seeing who you truly are in me. But today, I come to remove those chains. I come to remind you that you are not what others have said about you. You are not a failure, not a mistake, not the sum of your weaknesses. You are my beloved child, a creation fashioned by my own hand, one whom I have chosen to bring glory to my name through your life. And because you belong to me, you have worth not because of what you do, but because of who you are in me. My child, do not live as though you must fight for scraps of love in a world driven by competition. I am an unending source of love, the place where you can rest without having to prove anything. I do not focus on what you lack. I focus on what I have placed inside of you. And if you dare to believe that, if you dare to step out from the shadow of doubt into the light of truth, you will see there is nothing I give you that is too big, too beautiful, or too far beyond your reach. It is all because you are worthy, not by human standards, but by my mercy and grace. So rise up, my beloved. Remove the garment of insecurity and clothe yourself in the robe of dignity I have prepared for you. Look into the mirror and see my reflection, the image of one who is loved, chosen, and anointed to walk in power and purpose. Stop asking others who you are, and let Mayor Father answer that question with eternal truth. You are the one I love, the one I call, the one I guard, and the one I will never abandon. Even though you have doubted, feared, and strayed, I am still here. I do not change, and my love for you has never faded. My beloved child, there have been times when I watched you walk through the whirlwind of relationships that left your heart shattered, and all I could do was hold you in my gentle presence. I saw how you loved with a pure heart, gave your trust freely, and hoped in people you believed were as sincere with you as you were with them. But not everyone who came to you had upright intentions. Some appeared as light, but carried darkness. They did not love you with truth, but with calculation, self-interest, and hidden agendas you could not have foreseen. I witnessed every moment you were manipulated by smooth words, trapped in false guilt, though you had done nothing wrong, and pulled into emotional storms by those who only sought to use the tenderness of your soul for their own gain. I know there were nights you sighed without words, moments you sat in silence wondering how those you cherished could hurt you so indifferently. You questioned if it was your fault if being better, softer, or more loving could have changed their behavior. But today, I come to break that lie. You were not hurt because you weren't good enough. You were hurt because some people never intended to be genuine with you from the beginning. And I don't want you to walk that uncertain road any longer. Tonight, my light will expose what has been hidden. Lies will be unmasked, and truth will be revealed. You will no longer live in doubt, no longer question yourself, nor keep giving your trust to those unworthy of it. I do not expose truth to wound you further, but to set you free. You've suffered enough, and now is the time I lift you out of the chaos. My light will not only draw the line between what is real and what is fake, between love and manipulation, but will also help you see yourself through the right lens. You will realize that your value does not depend on how others treat you, but on the love I have placed within you. You were not created to be a playground for deceit, but to walk in wholeness, peace, and clarity. Beloved, when light exposes hidden things, it may overwhelm you, may even hurt, because truth does not always come wrapped in comfort. But take heart, for that truth will bring you freedom. I am not only removing what is false, but opening up a new path where you will learn to love wisely, to trust those who are worthy, and to no longer live in the exhausting cycle of being controlled, disrespected, or devalued. You will no longer waste time and energy on relationships that do not build you up, that do not honor the treasure within you. My child, truth is not just a weapon against deception. It is also the light by which you walk more steadily into your future. And that light, I myself, will be the source. I will not let you walk this journey alone. I will show you who is genuine, who is false, who is meant to stay, and who must be released. Not because I want you to shut your heart, but because I want your heart to be protected and nurtured in a healthy environment, where you can grow in peace and in the full awareness that you are truly loved. Beloved child, I know this is not easy, leaving behind those in whom you had placed such hope, letting go of illusions you have clung to for so long. But sometimes, to receive what is better, you must release what no longer belongs in this season of your life. I do not take anything from you without replacing it with something far greater. The relationships I bring into your life will not make you doubt yourself. They will not demand you exhaust yourself for acceptance, and will not leave you drained from constantly having to prove your worth. They will be divine connections where you are seen, heard, and loved rightly. So, my child, let me do my work. Let my light sweep through every hidden corner of your life. Allow the truth to hurt a little so that later you may be healed completely. I am leading you out of confusion, out of the web of deception, and placing you in a safe place, dwelling of light and truth, where you can finally breathe and say, at last, I get to be myself. And in that moment, you will see, freedom is not just the absence of captivity, but the presence of clarity, of peace, of a heart no longer afraid of being betrayed by what is false. You deserve clarity. You deserve pure relationships. And you deserve to be loved truly, wholly, and unconditionally the way I have loved you from the very beginning. My beloved child, tonight, in the silence, unknown to the world, I begin to move, not with noise or dazzling signs, but with the quiet yet mighty movements of one who never sleeps in watching over you. I begin my work a holy, hidden work woven with wisdom beyond your understanding. But, dear one, know this, what I am preparing will not be revealed instantly. I do not promise visible results by morning, but I promise I will not abandon you for even a second. You may not see the door open immediately, but the keys have already been placed in my hand, and I am turning them at the time when every element aligns perfectly, the time appointed by me. I know you have prayed, waited, and trusted the whispers. I've spoken to your spirit dreams that seem too grand, visions you fear, repeating aloud for fear of ridicule. But I want you to know, those were not fantasies. They were seeds I planted. And like every seed, they require time, darkness, and nurturing before they emerge into life. You must keep walking not by emotion, but by faith, by trusting that even when you see no visible change, I am still at work. You must hold on to your belief, even when the night is long, when your prayers remain unanswered, when waiting becomes the hardest test of your soul. My beloved child, the faith is not a comfortable feeling, it is a choice to believe that I am still good, even when your circumstances suggest otherwise. I know there are moments when you feel like giving up, days when you sigh and wonder if the things you've been hoping for will ever come to pass. But those are the very moments when you are closest to your miracle. Do not let delays cloud the hope in your heart. I have not forgotten a single prayer you've whispered. Not even the faintest cry in the night has gone unnoticed. I have kept each one as precious pearls, tucked close to my heart. You may think you were speaking out of weariness, but I have recorded every word in the palm of my hand, and at the appointed time, I will answer not just with sufficiency, but with abundance that will leave you in awe. Child, remember this, what comes from me never arrives too early, nor too late. It comes right on time when your mind has been shaped by patience, and your soul has learned to cling to me more than to what you've asked for, because the treasure is not merely in what you receive, but in the journey of faith that brought you there. When I open a door, it will not be a temporary open it, it will be the gateway to a new season, a new level, a breakthrough that exceeds your imagination. And that breakthrough will not exist to prove anything to people, but to reveal my glory in your life. Others will see it and be compelled to confess that I alone have done it. No one will be able to claim credit. No one will steal the glory. My beloved, be faithful, be patient, keep your heart pure, and continue sowing even as you wait for the harvest. Don't let delays make you doubt my presence. Don't let unanswered prayers make you think I'm silent. My silence is not absence. It is the sign that something great is being prepared. Like a craftsman shaping a rare gem, I am carefully polishing, refining, and forming everything you will receive so that when you hold it, you can walk in wisdom and grace, not just fleeting blessings. Beloved child, write this upon your heart. The dreams I placed in you were never to tease you, but to grow your faith and to reveal my faithfulness. The sincere, deep desires those I myself planted within your heart will not be forgotten. They will be fulfilled at the moment you are ready. And in the hour when the answer becomes a miracle not only for you, but for those around you. Keep praying, even when nothing changes. Keep obeying, even when you don't understand. Keep believing, even when all you see is silence. For faith is not based on outcomes, but on me, the one who holds all outcomes in his hand. And when that day comes, the day I open the heavens and pour out my blessings, you will look back and realize that not a single moment was wasted. Every quiet step, every tear of faith, every time you called my name in the night, they were all pieces leading to the moment I moved in power. My child, do not abandon the journey. I am working. I am about to reveal, and what I have prepared for you will be greater, more beautiful, more glorious than anything you've ever hoped for. Keep walking, for dawn is near, and when it comes, you will know without a doubt I was never late. My beloved child, there is one thing I want you to carve deeply into your heart, that everything happening right now is not merely to bring you blessings as a reward for your efforts. No, it is something far more foundational. This is a divine transformation, a sacred shedding that reaches into every layer of who you are. What I am doing is not small or temporary, it is a thorough, holy work that begins in your heart and extends to every area of your life, to the relationships you're nurturing, to the physical health you've neglected, to the financial turns that worry you, and to the career doors you thought were permanently closed. Nothing has been overlooked. Everything is under my loving control, and all is moving toward a new direction because I am working in the deepest places of your heart. You will begin to notice changes, some subtle, some surprising, but all of them are signs that my hand is reshaping your life, not in the way you expected, but in the way I know is best. A relationship may grow distant not because you did anything wrong, but because I am pruning what no longer bears fruit. A door may close not to take something from you, but to open another path where more light can pour in. You may feel as though you are walking through unfamiliar land, but do not fear, for it is I who brought you here, and I will be the one to lead you out into glory. Child, I know there are moments when you're weary because nothing looks clear. The early changes may bring confusion, may even make you question what you once believed. But remember, what you see with natural eyes is only the surface. Do not let temporary circumstances define your worth or direct your future. What you're experiencing is not the end, it's only a chapter, a part of the story I'm writing. And when one chapter ends, it is not a loss, it is a divine invitation to turn the page, where the story deepens. clarifies, and overflows with grace. I do not write your story with the ink of failure or regret. I write with mercy, with faithfulness, and with unchanging eternal love. My beloved, I don't just want to bless you. I want to make you a living testimony of my transforming power. Through your life, others will see that I am the one who makes all things new, not just outwardly, but from the very roots. I want you to walk not only in material abundance, but in peace of soul, clarity of mind, and maturity of spirit. What I am doing is not for short-term comfort, it is to prepare you for a new depth of intimacy with me, a relationship so rooted that no circumstance can shake it. No lie can interrupt it. No darkness can strip it away. So if one day, what was once familiar becomes strange, if voices that used to speak often go silent, or if you find yourself no longer fitting into your old places, do not be alarmed. That is not a sign of loss, but proof that transformation is happening. I am expanding you, elevating you, and bringing you to the place you belong, not by your strength, but by my mercy and wise guidance. You do not need to understand everything. Just remain faithful. You do not need to see every step. Just place your hand in mine. Hold tightly to your faith. Beloved child, because the transformation I am working will bear fruit not just in the now, but in the years to come. You will look back and see that every pain, every weight, every challenge, all of it had a purpose. Nothing I allowed was meaningless. Everything is serving a purpose far greater than what you see. And when you emerge from this season, you will not be the same. You will be refined, renewed, anointed, and appointed for a great harvest. And amid all this change, you will be certain of one thing, that it was I, your Father, who was moving. Not luck, not people, not chance. It was me, the one who loves you, who knows you, and who never took my eyes off you. I am writing something new, not just for you, but through you. And that, my child, will shake even the places that thought you would never change. For I am the one who moves in the dark, but the results will shine in the light. Trust me, walk with me, wait with hope for what I have begun in you. I will complete until the day of glory, my beloved child. Tonight is unlike any night you've ever experienced. As the darkness falls and the world drifts into sleep, Eor Godam, moving. Not with loud displays or visible signs your eyes can easily detect, but with quiet, powerful, loving force. I am doing something new in your life. This is not just a small adjustment to soothe your temporary weariness. It is a brand new beginning, born of my own hand, nourished by your faithful tears over countless days. You don't realize that those whispered words in the night, those prayers through tears, those silent moments of endurance have been seeds I carefully gathered. And tonight, I am causing them to sprout. Tonight is a night of transformation, not because your circumstances suddenly shift, but because you are being touched and changed from within. The invisible chains that once bound your mind are breaking. The burdens you carried on your shoulders, ones you thought would never lift, are being removed by me. I am rescuing you not just from outward situations, but from the fears, the doubts, and the hidden wounds that have clung to you for far too long. You will not be the same after tonight, because when I move, I do not simply patch up what's torn, I create anew, better, stronger, deeper. This is a night of miracles, my beloved. Not miracles that merely satisfy your short-term desires, but miracles that transform who you are. I will open your eyes to see clearly what once seemed blurred. I will awaken in your heart a new faith, not one borrowed from others, but one forged by personal encounter with me. You will touch my presence so clearly that you will no longer doubt that I live. I act, and I hear you every second. You will know not by intellect, but by living experience that I am your God, the one who heard every cry, whether whispered or broken. You thought I was silent, but I was preparing for this moment. I did not rush because I wanted my intervention to arrive at the precise time, when the change would not only impact your external life, but engrave itself into the essence of who you are. What I am about to do will make you look back and say, no one but God, not luck, not coincidence, but the faithfulness of the one who always keeps his promises and always sees you, even when the world does not. I will not just answer your prayers, I will answer them in ways that surpass your expectations. For I am the God who gives abundantly, lavishly, and without lack. Beloved, this is the night that marks the end of an old season, the season of pain, delay, and unanswered questions. And at the same time, it is the beginning of a new season of light, restoration, and things never seen before. I don't just want you to enter the new I want you to walk with the awareness that you are not alone, that you are walking with a powerful and faithful God. And as you walk, you will carry a new certainty that you are chosen, called, and unconditionally loved. Nothing in your past was meaningless. Not a single tear fell unnoticed. Everything contributed to this moment, the moment I reach down and lift you from darkness, placing you on a new foundation where you will flourish and never fall again. So, my child, open your heart to me. Let me touch every hidden corner of your soul. Believe that even when nothing seems clear, a great work is still unfolding. Doors that seemed permanently shut are beginning to tremble. Hearts that once felt distant are softening. Situations that seemed impossible are being rearranged by an unseen, all-powerful hand. And all of this, every bit of itis, because I love you. Tonight, my child, you will be reminded that I never forget. I am never late. I never act carelessly. I arrive at the appointed time. I do the right thing, and I fulfill every promise I have made. Tonight belongs to me, and therefore, it also belongs to you. It is not merely a night to remember, but a night to mark a divine turning point where your life steps into an entirely new chapter. Sealed with this unshakable truth, the Lord has done this, and it is marvelous in my eyes. My beloved child, I see clearly the battles stirring within your heart, the undercurrents of temptation, the alluring invitations laced with hidden snares, the overwhelming pressure of daily life in this loud and glittering yet fleeting world. I am not blind to the reality that your struggles are real, not mere theory or lifeless instruction, but spiritual battles your soul must endure day by day. I know there are times when saying no leaves you weary, especially when others give in so easily. I know how loneliness creeps in, even in the middle of a crowd, when you feel like you're walking against the current. But it is precisely in that loneliness, in that resistance, that you are living up to the sacred identity I have placed upon you, a child of the living God. You were not created to melt into the crowd. I did not design you to become a faded copy among the countless voices of this world. I crafted you uniquely, with a divine imprint no one can replicate. That is why you will feel different. You will not find yourself at home in a place where lies are praised as wisdom, where recklessness is called freedom, where morality is twisted to fit the majority. I know it's not easy. I know there are days when you want to give up because the war within is too intense, because the judgmental eyes are too heavy, and because you find yourself wondering, is it worth it to live so differently? And I say to you, my dear one, it is. It is worth everything. For the reward of faithfulness is not fleeting satisfaction, but eternal glory, a peace no one can steal, and a joy untouched by circumstance. I did not call you to live up to the world's definition of perfection. I called you to holiness. Not a holiness born of fleshly striving, but one that flows from intimacy with me. I am not asking you to become hardened or artificial. I desire you to keep a tender, heart tender, yet steadfast, anchored in the trust that my plan is greater than every temptation the enemy lays before you. The world will try to convince you that you're missing out on the fun everyone else is enjoying. But I want you to know, not all joy is genuine. Some things bring fleeting excitement, but leave behind a void in the soul. Some appear to satisfy, but the deeper you go, the more you lose peace, clarity, and the sweet whisper of my spirit within you. That is not what I desire for you. I do not offer momentary thrills. I offer enduring joy, built on truth, grace, and righteousness. My beloved, there will be days when those around you choose an easier road on with fewer obstacles, more acceptance, and quick applause. But you are not everyone. You are mine. And that means I have called you to live by a higher standard, not to burden or isolate you, but to protect you from paths that lead to destruction. Sometimes, your difference will be the very evidence that you belong to me. I have not called you to please the crowd. I have called you to please me. And that often means rejecting what is comfortable to hold fast to what is noble. My child, when you face temptation, remember that I too was tempted and I overcame. I do not merely offer you advice. I give you my very spirit to help you stand firm. You are not fighting alone. Every time you choose me over the world, heaven rejoices. Every moment you turn away from deception to cling to truth, you are doing something beyond your own flesh. You are walking in the power I have given you. And each of those quiet choices unseen, unpraised air laying down the stones of a life that is worthy, a journey that I will remember and reward. I am not watching you from afar as you wrestle with temptation. I am with you in every thought that arises. In every second you struggle between right and wrong, I am there, not to condemn, but to uphold. Let me be your refuge when you feel weak. Let my voice be louder than the world's call. And remember, it is not your effort that earns. My love it is because you are already loved unconditionally, that you have the strength to walk in your calling. So, my child, do not bow your head in shame. Lift your face in grace. You are not perfect, but you are being transformed. You are not alone, but you are being upheld. You are not lost, you are being led. Each day you choose me amid all the other options. You declare that you are a child of light. And though you may feel like a single drop in an ocean, I will use that drop to make a difference. I believe in you, and I will not stop completing the good work I began in you. You are Minand. That is a name no one can strip away. My precious child, amidst the deafening noise of this world, amidst the countless seductive invitations masked in elegance, I know you are wrestling with a question that seems simple yet profound. Does living by the truth still matter? I know there are days when walking in righteousness makes you feel like a stranger in a world that praises twisted values. There are moments when you look around and see those who disregard integrity thriving, while you, holding fast to my word, face trials, isolation, and even mockery. The world will relentlessly plant seeds of doubt, whispering that the principles you're clinging to are outdated, that obedience is weakness, that you're missing out on what makes life worth living. But I, your Father, come to remind you of an eternal truth that never fades. Every path that strays from the truth is a dead end. Sin may dazzle for a moment, but in the end, it always destroying your soul, your relationships, and your inner peace. I say this not to instill fear, but to protect you from detours that will cost more than they promise to give. Sin is cunning. It disguises itself with beauty, strikes at your current need, and paints easy futures. But once you take the bait, its true face is revealed, a thief of joy, a killer of hope, a destroyer of the purity I placed within you. You may think you're just trying it once, just following your heart. But the compromise you make today can become the chains you wear tomorrow. The wounds sin leaves behind are slow to heal, and its cost is always more than you expect. Don't let the sweet taste of fleeting pleasure lure you away from the place where true freedom resides. My beloved, you were not created to live by man's fleeting standards. You were created to bear my image holy, loving, whole. When I call you to righteousness, I'm not stripping beauty from your life. I'm leading you to what is truly good. Righteousness is not a burden, it is a key that opens the door to peace, to joy untouched by circumstances, to freedom no one can steal. Living by my will does not rob you of freedom, it reveals your truest self, the one I designed in love, not one shaped by the world's patchwork of pain. I know this path isn't easy. Living by truth in a world that constantly bends, it is a challenging journey. You will feel like you're swimming upstream. You will face dismissive looks, words that make you question yourself, and siren songs that call you to turn back. But never forget I am right beside you. Every step you take in righteousness brings delight to my heart. Every silent no to sin that no one else sees sends a celebration through heaven. And I, your loving Father, will never let you fight alone. I will give you strength when you're weary, wisdom when you're confused, and comfort when you feel lost in the crowd. You don't have to be like them. You were chosen to be different, to shine, to lead, and to be a living witness to the beauty of a life built on truth. The decisions you are making today do not merely affect your present, they are shaping your future. A single act of faithfulness today can become a wellspring of blessings for years to come. A small act of obedience done in secret may turn into the seed of a great harvest you never imagined. You may not immediately see the full result of your righteous choices, but believe this, they are quietly building a solid future. Just as a tree cannot grow overnight, a life that pleases me must be nurtured daily through each choice for truth. Each moment of saying no to the temporary in order to hold on to the eternal. My beloved, the world may mock the principles you uphold, but one day, these very people will marvel at the peace you carry in the midst of storms, the light in your eyes during dark nights, and the vitality within you when they feel drained and empty. Because righteousness is not merely a moral choice, it is a power, a source of life, a sanctity bestowed by me and preserved by my love for you. So walk on, my child, not with heaviness, but with the conviction that you are living for what truly matters. Do not trade the eternal value of your soul for fleeting pleasures. Choose truth, even if it means walking alone, because I am walking with you. And one day, when you look back on your journey, you will see that not one sacrifice was wasted. not one act of obedience in vain. You lived not merely by human standards, but by the eternal calling of the one who loved you and called you by his name, my beloved child. I know there are days when invisible burdens weigh too heavily on your shoulders. The pressures you face are not just from circumstances, but from silent expectations others place upon you, from whispered lies that echo in your mind, causing you to question your worth. I see you trying to keep a pure heart in a world so turbulent. Yet at times your heart trembles because the voices around you grow too loud, too unified, making you wonder, am I going the wrong way? Am I the only one walking against the current, the temptation to blend in, to be accepted? To avoid loneliness, it doesn't come like a storm, but softly, sweetly, and seductively. It comes as a gentle suggestion. Just be like them a little. Just be quiet so it's easier. Just go with the flow to feel less weary. But in those very moments, I call your nomino to scold you, but to awaken you, to draw you back from unconscious drift and place your feet once again on solid ground. You were never called to follow the crowd. I did not create you to dissolve into the world's vague definitions. You were not made to be a cheap copy of someone else. You were not born to trade your God-given essence for the acceptance of the masses. You were called to follow me, and following me sometimes means turning your back to applause, standing alone in the storm, and remaining faithful when no one sees. But in that sacred solitude, you will find deep communion with me, where your worth is no longer measured by human eyes, but by the unchanging love of your heavenly Father. My beloved, I never promised the path I lead you on would be lined with roses, but I promise that every step taken under my guidance will never be in vain. I know you felt inadequate, questioned why others seem easily accepted while you keep struggling to uphold what is right. But my child, your difference is not a burden, it is a heavenly mark. It is the evidence that you were chosen to be a light in the dark, not a light to display yourself, but a light to guide others. A lighthouse does not chase ships, it stands firm and shines, and lost ships find their way. So too, you need not chase attention or recognition. Simply remain in my presence, and the light within you will naturally shine into the darkest places of this world. I know there are times when you feel like a small voice lost in a sea of noise, when your kindness seems too small to make a difference. But never underestimate the power of a faithful heart, a genuine word of love, a quiet act of kindness, a decision to resist what is wrong. These are eternal seeds I will use to bring life to many. You may not see the full result in this life, but in heaven, every act done in my name will be remembered and honored. My child, while the world continues to celebrate compromise, chase vanity, and pursue empty glory, I am calling you to walk the narrow path, the path few choose, but the path that leads to life. Your obedience today, though unseen and uncelebrated, is a powerful declaration that you do not belong to this world. You belong to me. And because of that, you will not chase trends, be swayed by twisted values, or trade eternity for passing moments. So be steadfast. My beloved, when temptation urges you to stay silent, speak the truth. When pressure tries to make you give up, press on in faith. When the voices in your mind cause you to doubt yourself, tune your heart to hear beneath a voice that says you are loved. You are chosen. You have purpose. You are not lost, you are being led. And while the world is searching desperately for approval, you already have something far more precious. My affirmation that you are the light I placed in the world. Keep shining not for applause, but because you were born to do so. You are the lighthouse in a raging sea, a small but mighty flame guiding souls home. And one day, when you look back on this journey, you will know living in truth was never wasted. And following me, even if it meant walking alone, was always the most glorious path of all. My beloved child, when change begins to weave its way into every corner of your life, when the things that once felt familiar suddenly become foreign, and when what you used to hold so tightly slips beyond your grasp, I want you to remember this: I am still holding everything together. Even if the ground beneath your feet trembles, even if you cannot understand why everything is shifting so rapidly, I, your Father, have never released my sovereign hold. No disruption, no loss, no closed door ever escapes the loving permission of my hand. I see the confusion in your heart. I understand the fear when you feel adrift in the flow of life with no clear anchor. But what you think is a free fall is actually a fall into my steady arms that have long been outstretched to carry you through what you cannot carry on your own. I know that change is something you often fear. Because you are human, you crave stability. You seek the comfort of the known to feel secure. But if you keep clinging to the old, how will you take hold of the new thing I am preparing? If everything around you remained unmoved, how would you learn that I alone am the unshakable foundation? I allow movement not to confuse you, but to give you the opportunity to plant your feet on a rock that cannot be shaken, and that rock is me. I am the one who does not change in a changing world. I am the one who keeps my promises, even when everything else becomes unclear. When you do not know where to go, remember that I still know the path. When you feel lost, know that my hand has never left the compass of your life. My child, the world will always have seasons of upheaval. You will witness people change, circumstances shift, and even yourself pass through phases where you no longer recognize your own reflection. But be at peace and own of it is outside of my plan. I am never surprised by change. On the contrary, I use it as a tool to shape you, to uproot what you no longer need, and to sow into your heart precious things for the next season. When it feels like everything is falling out of order, it may be that I am rearranging it all according to my way, not to punish you, but to lift you to a height you've never reached before. There are things you are afraid to let go of, but I know that if you hold on too long, you will never grow. There are relationships, doors, and opportunities that you think are stable, but in truth, they are limiting the greater good I have set aside for you. And so, my child, when the storm rises, do not fear, learn instead to hide yourself in me. Let me be the rock you step on each day, the place where you stand firm when all else trembles. Do not rush to draw conclusions in the midst of transition. Do not let the feeling of losing control make you believe I have let go. I do not need favorable circumstances to perform miracles. I am the one who turns chaos into opportunity, sorrow into glory. I am the one who split the sea when there was only water ahead and enemies behind. I am the one who brought water from the rock, bread from heaven in the dry wilderness. And I am the one walking with you through every changing season, guiding you step by step, whether through fog-filled valleys or toward glorious mountaintops. My beloved, shaking does not always mean destruction. Many times, it is purification so that what is unnecessary falls away and what is eternal may shine. It is then that you learn what is temporary and what is everlasting. And in those moments, you will see me more clearly than ever, not as a distant concept, but as a present, patient, and loving Father. You will learn to lean on me no as a last resort, but as the first and only trustworthy foundation. I do not promise you an easy path, but I promise to walk with you always. I do not promise that you will understand everything, but I promise to work through everything for your good if you love me and walk according to the holy calling I've placed on your life. So, my child, when this door closes, don't rush to weep. When someone leaves, I don't believe you are no longer loved. When your plans collapse, don't assume your future has fallen apart with them. Remember, I am still here. I am the one who began the story of your life, and I will be the one to write its final chapter, a chapter of glory, a conclusion without regret. You are standing not on sand, not on the frail foundations of man, but on the eternal rock that is me. And when you cling to me, no matter how fierce the winds or how high the waves, you will not be overtaken. You will stand firm. And more than that, you will grow. You will shine. And you will become a living testimony to the world that there is a God faithful, unshakable, and always holding you in every season of life. My beloved child, I see the battles raging within you, the silent yet fierce struggles where you must choose between what is right and what is easy, between faithfulness and compromise, between the call of truth and the sweet whispers of sin. I do not overlook the tests you are enduring. I never take lightly the temptations of this world, because I know they are real, powerful, and alluring. They are dressed in short-term promises, fleeting satisfactions, and harmless-looking masks that conceal destruction. You are not weak for feeling weary in this fight. It only shows that your heart still desires what is right, still remains awake, still dares to resist, and that pleases me. But my child, when darkness tries to overwhelm the light, when the world around you seems to crack, shift, and crumble piece by piece, I do not come to scold you for your wavering moments. I come to lift you up with my living word. Keep walking. Even if the path ahead feels obscure, keep your heart pure. Even if no one around encourages it, keep believing. Even if that faith means walking alone. For I never measure the worth of your journey by speed or applause, but by faithfulness, the faithfulness of a child who will not let go. Even in the storm, when you are tempted to take your eyes off me and look to other voices, to turn toward comfort instead of holiness, remember, it is in that very moment that you need me most. Not to give you a checklist, but to remind you that your eyes must stay fixed on me. That is the key to not drowning in the crashing waves of life. Keeping your eyes on me means not letting your gaze be drawn to the temporary, not allowing your mind to be swayed by lies, and not letting your heart be stolen by things that do not come from me. When you look to me, you will see the true nature of the things trying to pull you away from the light. And in that light, you will know what is worth holding on to and what must be released. Fix your heart on my word, for nothing else can endure the day of trouble except my unchanging promises. Everything else may shake, your emotions may shift, people may betray you, your circumstances may turn overnight, but my word stands forever. When you listen to my word, you are drinking life itself, rebuilding your spiritual foundation, placing your trust in what will never betray you. Even if you don't see the results immediately, even if you feel like you're walking in vain, I assure you, every obedient step is drawing you closer to the abundant life I've promised. My beloved, I do not promise that following me will always be easy, but I promise that you will never walk alone. I do not promise you will never fall, but I promise that if you place your trust in me, I will lift you up and continue to lead you forward. What I have prepared for you is not just waiting at the end, it is being built day by day. hour by hour, right in the faithfulness you are holding on to. Every word you choose not to say to protect your humility. Every silent refusal of what does not come from me. Every night you kneel in temptation and weep quietly because your heart longs to please. Methos are more precious than gold in my eyes. So, my child, when the world loudly demands that you keep up, slow down and listen to me. When invitations call you toward ease, remember that the easiest way is not always the right one. When your heart wavers, return to the place where you first heard my voice, the place where my word revived you, where my love brought tears to your eyes, and where my grace lifted you to your feet. You were not born to be pushed by the current of this world. You were born to stand firm in it, to be a light on a hill, a voice of hope, a living proof that humanity can choose a different path, a narrow road, but one that leads to eternal life. Do not be afraid when you feel too weak, for it is in your weakness that my power is strongest. Do not hesitate when you feel you are not enough, for you were never meant to walk by your own strength. My love is the guarantee for your journey. My word is the lamp to your feet, and my presence is the fortress no enemy can break. Stay steadfast. Stay faithful. Stay grounded. For the reward is not for those who begin fast, but for those who endure to the very end. And I, the one who promised, will fulfill all I have begun in your life, because I love you, and I never break my promise. Amen. As a child of God, you are never alone, for He is always beside you, gently reminding you to live in faith and trust. Follow and turn on notifications so you never miss the words I speak from heaven. Amen.